Hello guys, welcome to our channel. Today, in this video I am going to explain to you the full story of Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi movie. Let's watch this movie story without being late. If open, Surinder marries Tani and brings her home. Tani will not be happy because of that wedding. He is silent. Everyone there is amazed to see Surinder got married so suddenly. But when Surinder goes home and closes the door, Surinder tells us through flashback why he got married so suddenly. Surinder goes to their professor's daughter's wedding. That daughter is Tani. Introducing Professor Surinder to Tani, he said, "I'm always telling you. This is Surinder." Tony looked at Surinder and said, "My dad always tells me about you that you are a very good student," she says. Tani plays, sings and hangs out so happily at her wedding. Surinder sees Tony's mischievous deeds and forgets that Tani is going to get married and falls in love with her. She is so happy, then she knows the bad news. The groom's bus had an accident and everyone was dead. Tani's dads have a heart attack. Doctors check him and say, he will not live much longer. The professor calls Surinder inside and asks, "I raised my daughter very lovingly. I hope you marry her and she will be very happy to be with you." Surinder also agrees that it is okay. The professor then calls his daughter and tells her, "I will not live long. Do you also know that Surinder is a very good man? Marry him. I will not bother you. Marry if you wish." She also agrees. He dies with both hands together. So Surinder marries Tani and brings her home. Surinder gives her his room so that Tani should not be uncomfortable. Now he goes to stay in the upstairs room. That room is like a storeroom. He cleans the room and stays there. Tani is in her room worrying, "Why did my life end like this?" Morning Surinder wakes up, gets ready, comes to Tani's room and knocks on the door. She does not open the door, nor does she give any reply. Surinder prepares the tiffin. When he is ready to go to the office, he goes to Tani's room again and knocks on the door. Even then she would not open the door. Surinder then goes to the office without saying anything to her. Surinder does not tell anyone in the office that he is married. But the office knew that and congratulated Surinder. They say, "We are coming to see your wife tonight. I'm going to have a party at your house today." Surinder also admits that he does not know what to say. His name is Balwender, very best friend to Surinder. He comes to Surinder's house and knocks on the door, saying, "You married without inviting me. This is the value you give to our friendship." Tani stays inside in fear. He does not open the door. Just then Surinder gets there from the office. He looks at Surinder and slaps him again. Surinder takes him into his room saying, "I will tell you the whole thing, come with me." The whole thing that was there told him. Later in the evening, colleagues in his office come to Surinder's house. Surinder goes to Tani's room and knocks on the door again. Even then Tony would not open her door. He then asks, "Friends have come from the office. They want to see you. They have not heard how much I told them not to come. Come and meet them once." But she gives no reply. Then Surinder goes from there saying, "If you are in trouble, no need to come. I will tell them something and manage." Surinder later apologizes to their friends, saying, "Tony is not in good health, so she cannot meet you now." At the same time Tony arrives and serves drinks to all of them with a smile. Surinder feels very happy for defending his dignity in front of his friends, as well as for seeing Tony come out of that room and smiling. Surinder looks at Tani's laughter and forgets himself. Later that night while Surinder was at work, Tani came up to him and talked. She apologizes for not talking to Surinder since she was married. Also with him, "I married you in my heart. But I showed you the wrath I should have shown to that God. I promise you, I will definitely try to make you a better wife. But give me some time. Should I forget everything that happened in my life? One more thing. I will never love lightning in life. Because I have no love. I do not know if you will be with me for the rest of your life without love." Surinder then says, "I do not know what true love is. Then how can love hurt me? Do not bother." When Tani walks away from there, he thinks to himself, "It's been so sad in my mind for 2 days. Something in it makes sense to me now. It's love. I fell in love when I first saw you," he thinks to himself. Tani wakes up before Surinder wakes up next day and tiffin is ready. It also prepares a lunch box for Surinder. Surinder looks at that lunch box and feels very happy. He keeps looking at the lunch box even when he goes to the office. Although Tani does not love Surinder, he continues to love Tani. Surinder buys a car for her that he would crawl on. Seeing her being happy while watching movies, he always takes her to the movies. Surinder keeps looking at her while Tani laughs while watching the movie. Unbeknownst to Surinder, he falls in love with Tani. Surinder notices one while watching Tani movie. Tony loves heroes, dances and fights. Slowly he understands one. She did like me because of my getup and dressing style. That's why he keeps trying to change. One day Tani sees a dance school poster. She approaches him and asks, I love dance. I want to learn dance. Surinder also agrees. At night, when Surinder is drinking with his friend, he shares his pain with his friend again. Surinder tells him, I fell in love with my wife, but she did not love me. Then Surinder's friend says, why doesn't she love you? She's your wife now. You can get love by hitting her. Surinder hears that and slaps him. The day my hand gets on Tani, I cut off my own hand, he says. Then Surinder's friend asks, do you love her so much? Then Surinder suffers saying, yes, but she says she will never love me. At the same time, Surinder tells his friend, when I took her to the cinema, when the hero was fighting and dancing in the movie, she liked to see them. Change my getup anyway. With this, he transforms his friend Surinder into a hero. At that time Surinder tells his friend, Tony goes to dance class. I go there and watch her dance whole without telling her who I am. Later when she gets home, I show her my getup and surprise her. She definitely likes to look at me. Surinder goes to dance class ready like a hero. Surinder looks at her while Tani dances. Then the dance teacher there will pull him in as well so that you can dance too. So he dances and watches Tani. When the dance practice is over, they are given one card each. The numbers are on the top of the card. Those who teach dance there tell them, we'll make you all a couple. Look at the numbers on the cards and meet your dance partner with the same number. Everyone looks at the numbers and meets their partners. Surinder notices that whatever number he got, Tani got the same number. With this Surinder tries to escape from there. The people there do not let him escape. Surinder and Tani are added as dance partners. Surinder thinks in his mind that he should talk to her with confidence without fear. Surinder keeps talking funny to himself as well. Tani did not remember Surinder. With this Surinder tells her, my name is Raj. Tani also goes on to say her name and says let's practice dance from tomorrow. Surinder is back to normal getup and ready to go home. Then his friend asks, I do not understand what you're doing. You said you would go home and show your wife your getup. And now what's this? Surinder then said, I had the opportunity to dance with Tani every day. If she knew I was in that getup, she would not agree to dance with a mug like me. Even if she agreed and danced, she would dance like my wife. Today I noticed the joy on her face while dancing. Earlier when I liked seeing her at the wedding, I saw the same joy on her face. I want that happiness from her. I want that love. If I was Surinder with her, I would never get that love. If I was like Raj, I would have that love. God wants the two of us to do the same thing, because I changed the getup and went ahead and she didn't remember me. God connected the two of us, so he's doing all this. Then Surinder goes home as usual as if he knows nothing from there. In the room below the night, Tani is playing music and dancing. When he hears that music, Surinder is also practicing dance in his room upstairs. Later Raj and Tani meet in a dance class. Surinder keeps telling her openly that he would like her if he was a hero. She does not like it. Feeds him. Says I will select other guys as dance partner. He then apologizes to her and tells her not to talk like this again. She also agrees that it is okay. Both are practicing dance. Night it rains when everyone goes home. He picks up Tani on the bike and drops him near the house. He comes home wearing a getup like Surinder again. A few days pass like that. She speaks openly when she is with Raj, but remains silent while with Surinder. No matter how hard Raj tries, he can't dance like everyone else. This makes Tani angry. Only then will those who teach dance make an announcement. Have you done it all as a team, and now we've been competing for it. From now on, points will be added to the dance you do. If there is anyone in the top 10, we will announce the winner of the competition box as the winner. On hearing this, Raj says to Tani, you will definitely be number 1. Then he says, if I dance with you, I'm not at number 1, I'm at last, and leaves with grief. Raj then goes on to say to her, I'm going to stop dancing from tomorrow. You're definitely going to lose if you dance with me. I do not want you to lose. So choose another partner. Surinder takes all the costume related to the Raj character and gives it to his friend. He says that he is closing this character from now on. Then he asks why you are doing all this. Surinder then says, Tani will suffer if she dances with me, because she will lose the competition. I do not want her to suffer. If I do not go to dance class now, will she choose another partner? Then she will definitely win. Surinder then takes Tani to the movie. She feels very boring watching that movie. Then Tani will feel like Raj appears on the screen. He shows the dance saying, "Are you feeling bored watching this movie? But I will not bore you. Now I will show you the dance of Hindi movies." While everyone is watching the movie silently, Tony gets up on the screen imagining the Raj dance and whistles. Then Surinder stops her. She could not understand why Tani imagined Raj. Raj will not appear there if she goes to dance class next day. With this, she finds Raj's address there. Surinder gives his address as Raj mechanic shop. At the same time, Balwinder was repairing a bike in the shop. Then Tani approaches the shop and asks Raj. Even the name of that mechanic shop person will be Raj. So he goes to meet Tani. Balwinder then stops him and tells him the whole story. With that, he also helps them. Balwinder calls Surinder and tells him that Tani has come to meet Raj. With this, Surinder again disguises himself as Raj and arrives there and meets Tani. The mechanic is shocked to see Surinder get up. Surinder, as always, he is smiling and talking to her in Raj get up. Tani asks him, "Why didn't you come to dance class?" Then he says, "If I come to a dance class and dance with you, you're lost. That's why I left the dance." Then she said, "You did not leave the dance. You left me because I'm going to lose if you dance with me. But I cannot wait to see my partner lose. You dance well. If you practice a little more, you will do even better. I will help you dance. Let the two of us participate together." He agrees. Tani and Raj have been practicing dance in that mechanic shop ever since. He thinks to himself, whether she loves Surinder or Raj, her pure love is for me. In dance school, Raj and Tani's dance is admired by many. With that, they will be selected in the top 10. Raj and Tani both have a small party for being selected in the dance competition. They compete in that party. That is, which of the two eats the most gap chips. Surinder wins that match. Tani says he will do what you say because Surinder won. He says he will ask when the time comes. Surinder then returns home in his normal getup. Tani tells him that I was selected in the dance competition and that I made a biryani for you. Surinder is already eating gapchups with Tani and his stomach is very tight. Anyway, he gets in trouble and asks her while eating biryani, "Who is your dance partner?" Then Tani says, "My dance partner's name is Raj," and she says very well about Raj. Surinder feels very proud as Tani says so much about him. Night gets too embarrassed to eat over food. The next day in dance class, Tani gets into a fight with someone. When Raj and Tony both go home, they make fun of them again. This makes Tani angry and she takes Raj's bike and follows them. Surinder is shocked to see Tani riding his bike at full speed. Tani follows them and knocks them down. Surinder is shocked to learn something he does not know about Tani. A few days pass like that. One day Tani and Raj went shopping together. Then Raj asks Tani, "There is a confusion in my heart and in my mind. What does a girl want in the end?" Then Tani says, "What a girl wants, another girl knows." The same thing, before the boy understands, they both grow old. No matter how much a girl wants, in the end the girl wants love from the boy. When Tani leaves, Surinder thinks to himself, "Surinder is closer to you than the love Raj you wanted." Later, after dropping Tani off at his house, Raj tells her, "Tomorrow is my birthday. So you have to be with me for the rest of the day." But Tani refuses. Then Raj said, "I have won the gapchup competition before. Then I will give it to you if you ask for anything. Must come tomorrow." She agrees that it's okay. The next day he takes Tony with him and keeps him happy throughout the day. Night takes him up a hill. From there, all the city lights are visible. Tani stares at the lights with delight. Sudden power outage. At the same time, the light falls on only a few houses and says, "I love you." Tani looks at it and asks Raj what it is. Then Raj says, "Love, the first really have pure love with you." Tani is silent when he hears that. Then Raj asks, "Do you like this?" Then Tani said, "I like it. Any girl wants this. A guy should love her so much. No girl has ever seen such happiness in her dreams. I am so happy to see this. It's even more painful than that. I have to tell you first, I'm already married. I know all about you," says Raj, all the details about Surinder. Raj tells him, "Don't worry, if you don't like it, we'll be friends like before." Then Tani sends him the message, "Everything changes when you show it. Whenever a girl opens her eyes and dreams, her whole world changes. That girl's life is never before. You get out of here." Balwender then tells Surinder, "You stop it all. You tell your wife the truth." Then Surinder says, "I will not do that. I need to know one thing. Does she love Raj or does she love Surinder?" Then Balwender says, "What if she loves anyone? Aren't you both?" Surinder then says, "But she does not know that we are one and the same. In my view, we are two different people." Balwender then tells him, "Raj is showing his love openly. But you are hiding your love in your mind. On the one hand, Raj is giving her hope. On the other hand, Surinder is destroying her hopes. Show Raj love in Surinder. Then she will definitely like you." Surinder then tells his friend. Raj laughs at her, dances with her, but Surinder does not change to get Tani's love. Surinder must get her true love. Surinder talks to her during dinner and asks about Raj. With this, she reminds Raj again. The next day, Surinder picks up Tani and goes to a shop selling Japanese goods. On hearing this, Surinder decides to take part in the competition anyway. On the other hand, no matter what objects Tani sees there, she still looks like "I love you," which disturbs her whole mind. Only then does Tani see Surinder taking part in the competition. Surinder gets a lot of blows in that match. But in the end he wins. Surinder thinks Tani admires me. But it makes Tani very angry. After going home, she treats Surinder to injuries and asks, "Why did you participate in the competition?" He then says, "If I win that competition, I will get tickets to go to Japan. If I win those tickets and take you to Japan, I thought you would be happy." That makes Tani very angry. "Did I ask you? If I want anything, I ask. Already you have done a lot for me. Don't do that anymore." The next morning, Surinder leaves without taking the lunch box. Tani goes home and sees that the apology is written. Then Tani brings the lunch box to his office and gives it to Surinder, and she also writes "sorry" on a piece of paper. Surinder is happy to see that. He asks us to go to the evening movie. She also says okay. On the one hand, Surinder is very happy to see that letter saying sorry, and on the other hand, Tani is sad at home. When it rains, she gets wet in the rain. Then she remembers Raj's words. Surinder then takes her and goes to the movie. She will not be there for a while. Surinder is confused by this and keeps looking for her. At the same time, the mechanic shop guy calls him. "Your wife came here to meet Raj," he says. With this, Surinder wears Raj get up again and walks closer to her. Raj keeps talking to her, making her laugh. Then Tani looks at him and asks, "How can you be so happy? How can you love me if I do not love you? Do you suffer a little because of love?" Then he laughs and says, "Love is the only way to get rid of pain. I fell in love with you. You can fall in love with someone else. It's so simple." Then she said, "My life is not as beautiful as you think. I have closed all the doors of love in my mind. Then you have come. Did you say that there is no suffering in true love? I am glad in your love. I fell in love with you. But what I have to do it now? I'm a married girl. Answer anything with a smile." Then he says, "Let us all flee together. If you are not happy with him, come with me if you do not love him." She also admits that it's okay and hugs him. Raj then cries unknowingly to Tani, saying, "We will not be in this Amritsar after this dance competition is over." Surinder then tells his friend everything that happened and says, "Raj won. Surinder lost." Then his friend says, "Why didn't you tell her the truth? Tell her the truth in front of her." Then Surinder said, "A married girl like Tani wants to run away with another man. Imagine how much she suffers in this marriage life. Tani did not love me. She is not happy with me. When she is not happy with me, it is my responsibility to send her away." Next day, Surinder and Tani both go to the temple. Surinder prays to God that Tani should be very happy no matter where he is or who he is with. Tani also closes his eyes and prays to God, "I must see my love. Show me my love." Surinder is in front of her as soon as she opens her eyes. With this, she would stare at Surinder all day. The night dance competition will begin that day. At that time, Tani calls Raj and talks to him. She said to Raj, "I cannot run away with you. Your love closed my eyes for a while. It made me think selfishly. In it, I forgot that Surinder held my hand in any position. When there was no one like me, I held his hand as I wished. I could not leave him. Surinder is a bit boring. He doesn't talk much. He's simple." Raj is very happy to hear that. Tani goes on to say to him, "I love Surinder. I cannot come after you. Forgive me for giving you hope. All the dances in the top 9 will be over. Finally, there is only the dance of Tani and Raj." Tani comes on stage. But Raj did not come. Tani says to him who runs the competition, "My partner did not come. Remove me from the performance list. At the same time, Surinder comes on stage. Surinder starts the dance. She also sees Surinder and starts dancing. She makes sense while doing that dance. Surinder and Raj are not separate. They are one and the same. Tani dances with Surinder and remembers everything that happened between the two of them. They both dance very well. She asks him when the dance is over. You have so easily turned all my suffering into joy. You have made every single hardship into joy. I could not give you even a little bit of love. Yet why do you love me so much? Then he says, God unites man. I will be very happy when I am before you. I will love you as I have always been. She also happily hugs Surinder. They both win in that dance competition. They both go to Japan with the Japanese tickets they won in the fighting. Surinder with Tani will remain in his normal getup forever. This is how the movie ends. For such an interesting movie explanation, please subscribe to my channel and activate the bell next to it. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to like and comment. See you later in the video. Bye bye.